Alright, I've got 5 minutes until my Instant Pot is done cooking, so I'm going to try and bust out a quick dirty video on TOM SCHOLZ Rockman equalizer settings. If you've bought a Rockman Sustainor, odds are pretty good at some point you've wanted to sound like TOM SCHOLZ, because why not? And you've probably noticed that in its default, the Sustainor doesn't sound like TOM SCHOLZ. In fact, its stock sound kind of isn't all that usable. You're going to need EQ no matter which way you slice it, and I highly recommend you get yourself a stereo chorus unit as well. So here's the dealio. I was going to try and make another one of those cracking the code videos on Tom's own Rockman stagehead rack setup thing, but the more I read about all the stuff that he does, the more I'm pretty sure that I've gotten it all wrong anyway. So instead of trying to piece that all together, I bought myself this here Peavey dual 15 band EQ, which incidentally happens to be the same unit Gary Peel has in his Rockman rack. Got it for cheap from Reverb, and I've spent the last couple months, I think, just tweaking the sliders one bit at a time, trying to match the tone by ear. So to get TOM SCHOLZ tone, it is absolutely crucial that you have a pre and a post EQ. So with my EQ, I have set this side to the pre EQ in the effects loop. I'm going into the all return on the Rockman Sustainor, so it'll pre EQ the clean channels as well, and the post EQ comes off the output of the Sustainor and then into the stereo chorus. What I'm going to do right now is go real slow over these settings so you can see them, and then copy them. Each line on this EQ is 2 decibels. And now the disclaimer is that because these are all analog units, none of them will sound identical, so use this as a starting point, but you'll have to tweak it by ear to get the results you want. And on the pre-EQ, we keep the gain slider at the midpoint, and you can use that for boost if the Sustainor's gain boost isn't enough. Here's the post side. Remember, these are all 2 decibels on the notches, so some of the faders are set in the middle, like the 6.3. That's just barely a decibel off from the bottom. Otherwise it starts to sound glassy and weird. All the switches on both sides are out, so nothing is enabled on those. And the settings on the Sustainor itself: compressor all the way up, noise gate set to taste, gain boost on, auto clean on, semi clean, I don't care. Channels, set those how you will. Phase notcher off. This treble slider all the way to the top. This treble slider all the way to the top. And then your output levels as your individual equipment requires. Okay, so the bass Sustainor tone sounds like this. I mean, you can hear that it's in there, but it's clearly not shaped the way it needs to be. So what I'm going to do, switch over to the clean channel, and I'm going to add the EQs one at a time. So here's your bass clean tone. Now I'm going to add the pre-EQ. And the post EQ. And now we'll do the same on the drive channel. both EQs off. Pre-EQ enabled. Let's get in there. Both EQs. So there you go. You have the settings if you ever need to put on a Boston concert.